The Second Amendment's returning to Washington, D.C. A big legal shift in our nation's capital. First, I told you the other day about the Trump administration fast-tracking pistol permit processing from 5 months to under 5 days. And now, the next step. Federal prosecutors will no longer file felony charges against law-abiding Americans carrying rifles or shotguns in the district, regardless of the evidence. So what's behind this, and how will it affect you? Well, let's unpack it. Welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, y'all. This is the place where you can get Second Amendment news on a daily basis. Sometimes I put them out multiple times a day, so if you're not getting videos every day about the issues affecting our inalienable right to keep and bear arms, check back. Better yet, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you stay in the know. And double check your subscriptions, YouTube's doing that purge again. For instance, if you didn't see the video I put out about Everytown for gun safety's plan to infiltrate the gun community, you missed a good one, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one, and share that video when you watch it. Before I jump into this story, because it's great, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, Pure. So Utah and Florida just passed bills to ban fluoride in the water supply, and several other states are debating doing the same thing right now. Why are all these states suddenly doing a massive U-turn on fluoride when they've been adding it to our water for the last 80 years? Well, RFK Jr. has been warning us for a while about fluoride, and the government now admits to the fact that fluoride is linked to a lower IQ. In a study done by JAMA Pediatrics, one of the top medical journals, scientists found that fluoride in levels over 2 milligrams per liter of water caused more than a 2-point drop in children's IQ scores. My wife and I have 4 children to protect, and that's why I use Pure to purify our water. It's a water filtration system that sits on your countertop, so you don't have to drill any holes or call a plumber to set it up. You just fill it with tap water, plug it in, and it gets straight to work. Pure is lab certified to remove 99.9% of impurities in your water. Anything that isn't water, meaning fluoride, arsenic, and forever chemicals, all of that gets filtered out, leaving you with pure water. And let me tell you, once you try Pure water, you're never going back. It's the best tasting water I've ever had. Plus, what I love about Pure is it lets you have water exactly the way you want it, whatever temperature you want. Just push a button, cold, hot, or warm, whatever, that's what you get. If you happen to like fluoride, that's fine. There are tons of ways that you can get that, like through toothpaste or mouthwash, but the government should never force you to ingest it. So take back your right to choose. Click the link in my description box, covepure.com/GNG, and for a limited time only, get a special discount of $200 off of Pure. Take control of your family's drinking water with Pure today. Now back to the story. Here's the deal. As of August 19th, 2025, Judge Jeanine Pirro, who is now the U.S. Attorney in D.C., announced a new policy. Following directives from the Department of Justice and the Solicitor General, that rifles and shotguns carried in the District of Columbia will no longer trigger felony charges. That's a huge shift from previous practice, when anyone caught carrying these weapons without a permit could face serious charges, even in high-profile cases like the Pizzagate shooter or the 2019 shotgun attack. Now, Judge Pirro justified it by citing 2 major Supreme Court rulings expanding Second Amendment protections. Well, I hate when, I didn't mean expanding our protections. It's a figure of speech and I caught it. It just sounded terrible. We're not expanding it, we're returning it to what the Second Amendment's supposed to be. But she was talking about District of Columbia versus Heller, the 2008 case where my friend Dick Heller challenged DC in their outright ban on firearms, and it was affirmed that the individual had a right to own firearms. She also cited the 2022 Supreme Court decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen, which struck down laws that were not rooted in the United States history or tradition of firearm regulation. She says the blanket prohibition on carrying rifles or shotguns is inconsistent with these rulings. By golly, someone gets it. It is important to note that this only applies to carrying rifles and shotguns. Federal prosecutors will still go after firearm-related offenses like violent crimes, trafficking, and illegal possession of handguns, since those remain among the bulk of gun offenses in D.C. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice here. I'm doing the best I can. The timing is striking here. This policy shift comes just as the Trump administration is ramping up federal law enforcement in the district, declaring a crime emergency and deploying more agents, bringing in help from over several different states that are sending in National Guardsmen, also speeding up firearm permitting, and some permits, like I said, have been processed in like 4.5 days now. And yet critics are warning that rolling back gun charge enforcement could undermine DC's traditionally strict gun laws. If the law is unconstitutional and you roll it back, how is that doing anything bad? Jeanine Pirro herself is a controversial figure. I'll put that out there. She was recently confirmed as U.S. Attorney of D.C. in August of 2025 after a very narrow Senate vote. Now, she's known as a very staunch Trump supporter and a former Fox News host, and of course, before that on television as a judge. And her approach reflects a broader push for law and order policies. I kind of like it. Her critics argue this policy may politicize the justice system, but she maintains it's about adhering to constitutional protections. Now, regarding public safety, some say that the slip in enforcement could lead to more openly carried rifles and shotguns and possibly embolden risky behavior. What do you think about that? Will this open the door to court challenges, or will DC lawmakers seek new legislation to fill in the gaps? Now, those who are legally carrying rifles and shotguns may face fewer charges, but pistol permit holders are still very, very regulated and subject to that regulation still. So let's see what Judge Jeanine Pirro does about the pistol issue. Now, this is a significant pivot in how Washington, D.C. handles gun laws, balancing constitutional judgments, finally, against local safety concerns. And always that the safety concern is a backdoor attempt at disarming the populace, because if you need to disarm the populace to govern, you really are terrible at governing. And the debate is just starting here. Now, what do you think? Do you support relaxing these charges in light of constitutional rulings, or do you believe DC's tough stance has kept the city safer? DC hasn't been safe for a long time. Let me know in the comments, guys and gals. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates. And until the next one, stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay free. Thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, if you haven't been seeing the videos, YouTube's playing the game. Double check your subscription. And make sure you let me know what you think about that Everytown one I put out yesterday. That's one that every gun owner needs to be very vigilant on, because it's going to happen. Take care.